In your work today, you're tasked with using trig ratios to find a missing side. The example problems on Delta Math are not super clear without some explanation, so I'm going to solve one of these for you. Step one in this example here, when you're looking at a right triangle and you need to find the missing side using a trig ratio, you're typically only given one angle. Let's go ahead and circle this angle just so we get some point of reference where we're working from. This is the only angle measure we're given. We're not given this one, although we could figure it out because the internal angles must add to 180. But we don't need this angle down here. We can use the angle that we're given. And we know in relation to this angle. Let's go ahead and label our sides so that we can know what trig ratio to use. The side that's the furthest away from the right angle, and the longest side is always the hypotenuse. I'm going to put HYP there. And then the side that's the furthest away from the angle that we're working with, our reference angle, is going to be the opposite. I'm going to write opposite there. Remember, the side that is touching the angle that we're working from is going to be the adjacent, ADJ. So we have our hypotenuse, opposite, and adjacent. Now I have to figure out which trig ratio to use. Remember, sine is opposite over hypotenuse. Sorry for the poor handwriting. Cosine is adjacent over hypotenuse. And tangent is opposite over adjacent. So no need for you to write these on your paper. I just wrote them here so that we can know which one to choose from, right? We got sine, cosine, and tangent. And remember, sine, opposite over adjacent, so that's SOH. Cosine is adjacent over hypotenuse, cosine, adjacent over hypotenuse, so co. Tangent is opposite over adjacent, tangent, opposite over adjacent, TOA. This is the little memory trick that I use to memorize these. Now, you don't have to memorize them. They're on the formula sheet that I'm going to give to you, but I just wrote them up here so we can kind of know what we're dealing with. So now we go back and we look at our triangle and we say, look, from this angle, what do I have? I don't have a hypotenuse, so I've got to use something that doesn't have a hypotenuse. Well, this has a hypotenuse, this has a hypotenuse. I don't have a value for hypotenuse, and I don't have a variable for hypotenuse, so that's out. I can't use anything with hypotenuse. So the only thing I'm left with is tangent. I need opposite over adjacent, and I do have opposite over adjacent, and I'm always going to write it in an equation form. The tangent of 37 degrees, I put it in parentheses like this, I always make an equation, equals, what is the tangent of 37 degrees? Opposite, 46, over adjacent, x. It's okay that there's a variable. It's okay, we're going to solve for that variable. Now, there's a rule of thumb here when you're solving for a side. I'll show you the algebraic way first, then I'll tell you the shortcut. The algebraic way to solve this is we multiply both sides by the denominator, right? And that's going to get rid of this guy. And we're going to have x times tan of 37 equals 46. Now what do? Well, we're trying to solve for x. We need x. So if I've got x times all that equals 46, I have to divide by tangent 37 on both sides. Tan 37. And the tangent of 37 is going to cancel over here, and I'm going to be left with x equals 46 over the tangent of 37. Now at this point, I can just put this in my calculator to get a number for tangent of 37 and solve for x. So I get whatever calculator I've got. In this case, I'm going to use my iPhone. Okay, and I'm turning it horizontal to get a scientific calculator. And remember, I need tangent of 37. So the way to do that on the iPhone calculator is press in 3, 7, and then come over here and find the tangent button, tan. And I'm just going to use 4 digits. So this can be rewritten as x equals 46 over the tangent of 37 is 0.7536. 0.7536. And now to solve for x, I can just simply type this in my calculator. What is 46 divided by 0.7536? Well, I just press clear, and I'm going to type in, get it down here where you can see it. I'm going to type it in 46 divided by 0.7536 equals. And that gives me 61.040. We can call that 61. We can use 0.040, but anytime I have something 0.0, it's so small here, I just usually go with the integer value. This means that our missing side up here is 61, is equal to 61. X equals 61. So I have used trig to solve for the missing side, 61. Now I told you I'd show you a shortcut instead of all this junk here, and I can. I'm going to solve another one, and then I'm going to show you a shortcut on the next video.